got into music because I love it. I want to make people happy. I think it's the best job in the world, and that's why I do it.
In the small town of Farmlingham, Suffolk, a boy with a dream and a guitar began a journey that would touch the hearts of millions. Today, we will tell you about a person who cannot live without music, and now music cannot live without him. He is a true phenomenon, but there were days when he used to sleep on the streets and in the London metro. Despite his tough life, he became someone who will undoubtedly leave a mark. This man was born on February 17, 1991, in West Yorkshire, England. From a very young age, he was considered an outsider and a boy constantly bullied by other kids because of his peculiar appearance and behavior. He has an older brother, Matthew, who works as a composer. His parents are originally from London, and he mentions that his father comes from a large Catholic family. Despite not excelling in anything and never winning competitions or awards as a child, he begins to learn to play the guitar and becomes part of the local church community, realizing that music is the driving force of his happiness. From the moment he first opened his eyes to the world, a deep wine-red birthmark adorned most of his face, a unique mark that set him apart from his earliest days. As a young child, he bravely faced laser surgery, an attempt to lessen the mark that so boldly defined his appearance. The aftermath of the surgery brought its own trials, long days and nights where painkillers were his constant companions, easing the physical pain but casting shadows on his young life. Then, one seemingly ordinary day, in the midst of life's routine, he forgot his medication. That day marked a turning point as a stutter crept into his speech, an uninvited guest that decided to stay, adding another layer to his challenges. But this was just one piece of his complex puzzle. Throughout his childhood and into his later years, he looked out at the world through large, cumbersome glasses. They perched heavily on his nose, a necessary shield against a world that seemed blurry and indistinct. Their ungainly appearance, a stark contrast to the delicate vulnerability of his sight. In a silent world of his own, he also navigated life with almost complete deafness in one ear. The absence of an eardrum left him in a perpetual imbalance of sound, a solitary echo in a world filled with symphonies. Each of these trials, the birthmark, the stutter, the glasses, the partial deafness, were not just isolated problems, but chapters of his story, woven into the fabric of his being, painting a portrait of resilience in the face of relentless adversity. Despite all this, at the age of 11, he starts writing his own songs, and people notice his talent. Ed Sheeran says, "My love for playing the guitar is what ignited my passion for music. Every day at school, he was bullied, and everyone made fun of him constantly. When he tried to speak in class, his mouth froze, and he was so anxious that he couldn't say anything. So he stopped participating and even raising his hand." His father, John, played a significant role in helping his son work and focus on what he loves most. His first dream is to make enough money to pay rent and sell hundreds of CDs. At the age of 14, he already released 2 albums, Spinning Man and The Orange Room. Although his father constantly pushed him to study, at the age of 16, he dropped out of high school and finally decided to move permanently to London in 2008. While looking for ways to spread his lyrics and music, he lived on the streets for 2.5 years, sleeping on benches, in the subway, and even a few times in front of Buckingham Palace. But the lack of home and food wasn't going to make him give up his dream. Instead, he managed to make some friendships, saying, "I had nowhere to live for most of 2008 and throughout 2009 and 2010. But somehow I managed. I knew where I could find a bed at a certain time of night, and I knew who I could call to crash on their floor. Being sociable helped me a lot. Drinking also helped." He says that this stage of his life taught him incredible skills like dedication and the ability to socialize with other people, something he lacked as a child. He often went to pubs and roamed London as an independent and free musician. He started playing in small venues, and even auditioned for the television musical Britannia High, hoping to make some money. In 2009, he was accepted into the Music Academy in Guildford. One of the most crucial steps he took in his career was to start uploading his music online. That's when he met Jamal Edwards, an English music entrepreneur, DJ, and founder of the online R&B hip-hop platform SBTV. There, in the platform, Ed Sheeran first appeared online. They quickly became very close. Bonded by their love for music, their life became even closer when Ed moved to LA. One evening, Ed accompanied Jamal to a local R&B bar that was known for its open mic nights and for showcasing upcoming talent. This wasn't just any bar. It was a place where the atmosphere buzzed with raw energy and potential. That night, Ed took the stage, his performance echoing through the bar, capturing the attention of everyone present, including Jamie Foxx's manager. The manager, struck by Ed's talent, approached him after the show. This led to one of the most significant moments in Ed's career, an invitation from Jamie Foxx himself. Jamie offered Ed a place to stay and, more importantly, access to his recording studio. For an emerging artist like Ed, this was an incredible opportunity to refine his craft in a professional setting. Signing with Atlantic Records was a dream turned into reality. It was a moment charged with emotion, a culmination of countless hours of writing, performing, and believing against all odds. Ed's music resonated deeply with audiences worldwide. His honest storytelling, combined with melodic genius, created a unique connection with listeners. People found pieces of their own stories in his songs, whether it was the tender longing in Thinking Out Loud or the raw emotion of The A-Team. As his music soared in popularity, accolades and awards started pouring in. Each award was a recognition of his artistry, but for Ed, the true reward was seeing how his music touched the lives of people. The number of awards grew. Grammys, Brit Awards, and countless others, each a symbol of his journey from a small town in Suffolk to the global stage. But behind the fame and accolades, Ed Sheeran remained grounded. He rarely speaks about his personal life until last year, when his faith was tested with the year he calls the Year from Hell, marked by several truly tragic events. In 2019, Ed Sheeran's life blossomed with joy as he married Cherry Seaborn, his childhood sweetheart. Their love, a journey that began in the innocence of youth, turned into a beautiful family with the birth of their children, Jupiter and Lyra Antarctica. Their world, filled with the laughter and warmth of a growing family, was a picture of happiness.
I kept saying to you that it was just a lump and not to worry. The doctor was basically like, this is really bad.
But amidst this bliss, a shadow loomed during Cherry's second pregnancy. The discovery of a tumor threatened to shatter their idyllic world. This harrowing news brought a storm of fear and uncertainty, casting a pall over what should have been a time of joyful anticipation. In the midst of this turmoil, Ed turned to his most trusted confidant, music. His heart heavy with worry, he found solace in the strings of his guitar and the blank pages waiting to be filled. Songwriting became his sanctuary, a place where he could pour out his fears, his hopes, his love. In a remarkable outpouring of emotion, Ed crafted 7 songs in just 4 hours. These weren't just melodies and words. They were fragments of his soul, raw and unfiltered. Writing songs is my therapy, Ed had once said, and never had these words rung truer. He wrote without filter or pause, letting the tumult of his emotions guide his hand. In a little over a week, He had replaced a decade's worth of work with songs that echoed his deepest, darkest thoughts. The moment you realize that something is happening to someone you love with all your heart, you feel like you are drowning and can't get out from under it. Amidst this emotional whirlwind, the reality that Cherry could not undergo surgery until after their child's birth added an excruciating layer of anxiety. Every moment was bittersweet, filled with the joy of impending parenthood and the fear of the unknown. This chapter of Ed and Cherry's life was a poignant reminder of the fragility of happiness and the strength found in love and art. It was a testament to the healing power of expression and the unbreakable bond of a family united in the face of adversity. Their story, steeped in both pain and hope, touches the heart with its raw honesty and the resilient spirit of love overcoming fear. But while dealing with this, his life was even more shaken. On February 20th, 2021, a wave of profound sorrow swept over Ed Sheeran and the entire music community. Jamal Edwards, a cherished friend and a visionary in the music industry, passed away unexpectedly due to a heart attack at the young age of 31.
I was living with him. He'd become my best friend, and we were having this sort of rise together.
Like, I basically lived in his bedroom. His mum thought we were having a relationship. The funeral was like 30 people, but he knows like 10,000 people.
Ed was left heartbroken by the loss of someone so integral to his life and career. This devastating news arrived just a few weeks following the distressing diagnosis of Cherry's cancer, compounding the emotional turmoil in Ed's life. In his latest series, Ed Sheeran, The Sum of It All, Ed shared his emotional journey.
At the beginning of the year, which was shit, and the worst time to cry. No, because you can't sing when you cry.
Through this period of loss, he revealed that until Jamal's passing, he had never truly known the depths of grief and loss. The news of Jamal's death engulfed his entire being, affecting him in ways he had never anticipated. I basically lived in his bedroom. His mom thought we were having a relationship, Ed explained. Jamal died in the morning. I was at his mom's house at midday. It's Caribbean culture. You go to the family home for 9 days and 9 nights. On the 9th night, they throw a big party. Grief instantly ends your youth. The funeral was like 30 people, but he knows like 10,000 people. Ed's candid reflections of losing Jamal offered a glimpse into the profound impact one life can have on another. His openness about his grief is a moving testament to the strength of their relationship and the deep void left by Jamal's untimely departure. And as Jamal left Ed's world, another one of his friends came to help him deal with his emotions and continue what Ed and Jamal started. Taylor Swift. In the tapestry of life, each thread tells a story of triumphs and trials.
But like, as a human and as a career, like, we've sort of known each other since the start of my career, and we're just very similar people.
Ed Sheeran's journey, woven with melodies of love, loss, and resilience, reminds us of the strength of the human spirit. Ed's journey is a testament to the fact that we all, regardless of who we are, face mountains that seem insurmountable. His willingness to seek help, to channel his pain into art, and to share his struggles openly paves the way for understanding and empathy. It's a reminder that it's okay to not be okay, to ask for help, and to lean on others. That was the untold tragic true story of Ed Sheeran and his year from hell.
If you haven't seen our Keanu Reeves video, hurry up and watch it. It's an amazing story that needs to be heard. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of our latest videos.